What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Lead times. What time is it? Travel's time percent. It's always good to travel, and it's always good to smell good when you're traveling or wherever you may be going. It's always good to look good, feel good, be at your best. Treat everybody with respect. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated. You know, the world's crazy out there, so hey, treat everybody with respect. It's good to be back. I'm back inside the time zone, you know, and I guess you're wondering, man, why I got these clocks back here, you know. I didn't go crazy or anything. This is my dream wall. This is my travel dream wall. And I put different countries underneath these clocks. And these are the countries that I have visited or countries that I'm going to be visiting in the near future. Now, I already visited the Philippines, Thailand. I haven't visited Paris, France yet, so I will be going there, God willing, I hope sometime next year, the end of the year, I want to be going to Paris, France. And sometimes I would change the countries, and I put the different time zones because I imagine myself to be there. So you guys do that sometime, man. You know, I just don't have these clocks up here for show. You know, it's for a reason. But today I want to be doing a fragrance review, man, on a very popular house that gets known that really don't need no introduction, man. And this is the house of Gucci. And this, I tell you, man, everyone is jumping on this elixir, man. I tell you, the elixir is just a high concentrated parfum to me. And everyone does starting to do the elixir, but it's okay. You know, I believe it's just a sales pitch, but man, you know, we're buying it. So, and it smells really good. But guys, this stuff is strong, man. This stuff is strong. I tell you, man. Okay, Gucci makes some really good fragrances. The Gucci Guilty Absolute, the Gucci Guilty Love Addiction, the Gucci Guilty Black, the Gucci Guilty Parfum, the EDP, the EDT. They make some really good flankers out there. But they got, like I said, they got on the bandwagon because of the this Horus root that's inside this note. And there's some many fragrances that has this Horus root. I believe Waff's Club Elixir has that Horus root. Givenchy Gentleman EDP that has that Horus root. And of course, I believe it's that Boss Bottled by Hugo Boss has that Horus root. And what is Horus root? I mean, what's so special? Well, all I know, Horus root is expensive, okay? And it takes 7 years for the processing. Guys, yes, I am a horticulturist by trade. I've been doing it for over 25 years. I smelt a lot of plants, a lot of flowers, a lot of trees. I've smelt it. I also went to a Horus root farm. So I've seen the process. And I tell you, it's an awesome process, okay? So what Horus roots are, all they are rhizomes, okay? Now, and it's over 2,200 species of viruses. There's the native iris. I believe it's a Douglas iris. It's a native, and they don't have the rhizomes. And also, it's the red iris. I believe that is a native to Louisiana, and that doesn't have rhizomes. Okay, so they pick these three particular irises. That's the iris Germanica, the German iris, or it's called the sweet iris. Okay, the iris pendula, okay, which is it's a variegation, or they call it the zebra iris, or the iris floretine, because of the rhizomes. So what they do, it takes a long time, about 7 years, the process. And what they do, they cut, they leave of course, the iris is in the ground for 3 years. When they pull it out, okay, they cut the stock, okay, and of course they preserve the stock for some other things, okay, and they get the rhizomes, okay, and they wash the rhizomes off, okay, and then they clean the rhizomes, okay, and then they take them to a washing process, okay, it goes into a washing process, and then they peel it one by one. That's why Horus root is so expensive. They hand cut it with knives one by one, and then they put it on top of these layer racks, and they let it sit for like months, sometimes even years, so it can dry out. And that's when the magic happens, man. I tell you, that Horticultural root smell good. The drier, the better. Horticultural root costs about $30,000 per pound. Yes, $30,000 per pound. And I tell you, man, that's the most expensive ingredient in the world of perfumery. And it, of course, it bends down the extraction, and it goes down into the raw materials. And that's not my forte. That's Andrew Terrence Hughes. That's his thing, man. That guy is a goat. Shout out to that guy, man. Many moving hands. That guy is just not moving his hands around. That guy is actually doing formulations. He's checking out the acetates, the lanolins, the raw materials, the Roman chemicals. The guy is a goat. I love watching that guy. And shout out to all of the fragrance reviewers out there, man. I don't think we commend each other enough. I don't know. I have no hate, I have no jealousy towards nobody, but shout out to all. Christopher Lee fragrance, that honey water is amazing. Aromatics, Crowley fragrance, Jeremy fragrance, man, shout out. The Novus Nose, Bubble Scent, shout out to Fat Boy Finesse, shout out to a Big Beard Business, shout out to Aromatic, shout out to Ross, TLC, the guy with the big muscles. Shout out to that guy. Those guys are awesome, man. I subscribe to those guys. They the one that blazed the trail for me. Shout out to Dietrich. Shout out to Copeland. Shout out to, if I didn't call your name, shout out to you, okay? So hey, shout out to those guys, all right? But back to that process. So it takes 7 years, okay? And once it goes through that process, of course, it goes into the process of making raw materials, and that's another thing. But anyway, out top back has a plastic cap, okay? Excuse me. And the itemizer is pretty good. And I tell you, man, off top back has that orange blossom. And you can just smell it. Okay, it's not any type of orange blossom, but it's orange blossom that the perfumers tell the growers, this is what we want. We don't want any type of orange blossoms. Okay, we want a particular kind. They want particular kinds of roses. They want particular types of osmanthus in it. This is a note. Okay, they got the nutmeg, and that's from the Mystica fragrance tree, and that grows in the tropics in Indonesia. And of course, that pimento seed. So a top note, you can smell this, okay? And then you got the orange blossom, okay? So this stuff is really floral, but how they combine it smells so good. And then you have the Horus. I already went through that process. And then you have osmanthus. Again, they don't use any type of osmanthus now. There's 3 osmanthus that they use, okay, because of the production of that flower in the growing season. And the main one that you usually will see in the notes is the osmanthus fragrans, okay? Because the way that it blooms about 3 times. So it's 3 types of osmanthus. The osmanthus fragrans, okay? And it's the osmanthus heterophyllus, when only blooms once a season. And it's the osmanthus florentine, which is a hybrid, okay? So perfumers are saying, okay, wait a minute, hold up now, okay? This stuff smells good, but you can't produce the flower. You can't produce so much. We need a lot of flowers. Okay, perfumers, they smell flowers. They smell things all day. That's what they do. That's why it takes so long to make different fragrances. Okay, so what they do, the growers would get together and they would tell plant pathologists, they would tell botanists, okay, since this osmanthus, okay, because it smells so good, only blooms once a season, okay? What we want to do, we want to cross hybrid them, okay? So like I say, the osmanthus heterophyllus, fragrance blooms 3-4 times a year, okay? And that osmanthus heterophyllus only blooms once a year, okay? So we said we need more production. So what they do, they cross hybrid them, okay? So the osmanthus can take on the species of the Osmanthus fragrans. Okay, I know it's a little confusing, guys, but I'm just not up here yapping, man. I've seen the process. I've smelt a lot of Osmanthus. Okay, really deep stuff. Okay, I'm almost done. Okay, and has vanilla, that base, amber fix, benzoin, petroleum, man, and you know, it's almost my time. Of course, the sweet notes. Of course, the dry down. You know, we don't pay for the fragrance. You know, we pay for that dry down. Like I keep saying, the bottom notes is always the sweet notes, okay? But this stuff, I don't even think this has a dry down. You know, the top note is you can smell, this stuff is strong, but it smells good, okay? Guys, this is my time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Man, if you like my content, you know, I'm just not on here talking, man. I'm just trying to give you a little horticultural point of view of fragrances and why that perfumers, they pick a certain type of plant. They just don't pick any plant. It's got to be a different type of rose. The Bulgarian rose, okay, the German rose, okay, the Martha Washingtons, okay. And one more time before I go, okay, every time, if you go to a nursery, okay, every time when you see a plant, okay, and you see an X, okay, on the side of that plant, you see another plant, that plant's cross-hybrid, okay. And that's what it means. It's been cross-hybrid, okay? Because it has to take on another species, because that plant probably got affected with a disease, and it's a long process. But guys, that's my time. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Billy Time with Times That Travels. You guys take care of yourself. God bless you. Peace out.